A mysterious force causes a young boy's bones to break. Where did this deadly curse come from? Don't miss out. The psychics will expose a female killer. You are watching Psychic Investigations, a project of true and incredible stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate resonant criminal cases and incredible paranormal phenomena. In this family photo, you can see a smiling and joyful Vova Bazuk with his mother, Nadia, and father, Mykola. Here, the boy is 4 years old, but half a year later, a terrifying event would turn their lives upside down.
He broke his leg in the summer, and after that, it all started. Very frequent fractures. He often breaks his arms, and his legs are constantly in a cast. It's so awful.
He was a healthy and active child until he turned 4.5.
The boy suffered 30 fractures in just a year, though he had been perfectly healthy before. He went to school, played with friends, and loved soccer.
Vova is a very cheerful person.
He loved riding his bike and running.
However, in the last 3 years, Vova has not attended school, and for the past year, he hasn't even been able to get out of his wheelchair.
Now I have to use this wheelchair all the time, but I'm used to it. Both my legs are completely in casts.
At 12, Vova has endured unthinkable pain and suffering. His bones crumble even when he simply stands up. They can't withstand his body weight.
He tries to stay strong, but you can see the sadness in his eyes.
The doctors say the boy's bones are brittle due to a severe collagen protein deficiency. His body suddenly stopped producing it. However, the cause remains a mystery. His mother has taken him to countless doctors across Ukraine.
The doctors don't fully understand what's happening to him. They can't provide a definitive diagnosis.
They suggested we consult a geneticist and professors.
The geneticists say Vova's condition resembles the so-called crystal disease. However, some aspects of the diagnosis don't add up.
Crystal disease is inherited from generation to generation. It cannot be acquired.
But there is no history of crystal disease in Vova's family, neither on his mother's nor his father's side. Additionally, Vova didn't start showing symptoms at birth, but only at the age of 5.
This disease can occur spontaneously. There must be some predisposing factors.
But what follows is even stranger. The parents notice that before each fracture, the boy sees a black shadow.
I saw something black in the dark. Just a black shadow, and I heard creaking sounds.
But nobody knows whose shadow it is or why it appears near the boy.
A long and dark period began. There must be a reason behind this.
My dream is to stand on my feet again and be able to run and play soccer like I used to.
Vova's parents suspect that the cause of his condition is mystical, and only psychics can uncover the truth.
Dear psychics, I would like to ask for your help. I understand you're not doctors, but maybe you can help us understand what's causing this.
Our project's experts, Yaroslava Fedorova, Anna Galiers, agreed to help Vova.
I saw a woman in black. I was sleeping and I suddenly woke up to an icy breath. I saw a female silhouette. I wanted to get a better look, but the room was dark. Something was shining on her neck.
It's a key.
What makes you think it's a key?
Because she visited me earlier today. She said nothing. She just stood there and left. But she had an old key on her neck.
That woman is definitely connected to our today's investigation.
A few hours later, the psychics arrive in the town where the boy lives. They find Vova and his mother out for a walk.
Hello. I really want you to help us.
Give me your hand, please, dear. You're a very brave boy.
Pick one card. Any one. It's the father card. It's reversed. What about the father? There's a cross on him.
Vasya and I are divorced.
And who is the man living with you now?
He's my second husband. He's like a real father to Vova.
Dad Mikola is better to me than my father.
When I first met Nadia, Vova started calling me Dad right away. It made me happy.
Nadia and her second husband have children together, and they're all healthy. The problem is only with the child from her first marriage. It seems we should look for answers in the first husband of Vasya.
At just 16, Nadia married Vasya, her friend's older brother.
He said, "Grab your passport and let's go to the council to register our marriage." Well, I was just 16. I didn't tell my mom anything. I just grabbed my passport and went.
It was a shock for me.
The young couple had a lavish wedding, and a year later, their first child, Vova, was born. However, their marriage was short-lived. The man left his wife and son.
He was unfaithful. He cheated on Nadia. They got divorced after that.
He rarely visits. He might not even show up on Vova's birthday.
With no history of genetic bone diseases in the family of the boy's biological father, the question arises, where did Vova's condition come from?
The card of retribution. Your child is paying the price. Pick the next card. A child whose life is upside down, and there's a woman who destroyed his life. He's paying for a lost child.
I see a boy looking like your son. They have the same blood flowing through their veins.
When I was about to marry my first husband, his second cousin met me and said, "Do you know he has a girlfriend? She's pregnant with his child and is in the hospital."
The news of her fiancé's infidelity caught Nadia off guard just before their wedding. However, despite the revelation, she didn't find the courage to call off the engagement and went ahead with the marriage.
On the day of your wedding, the abandoned woman shed bitter tears.
She gave birth to a boy on our wedding day. He looks like Vova.
Giving birth to the boy, she cursed her husband and his future family.
A curse sent by a pregnant woman has double the power, and it will definitely influence someone in the family.
Before the wedding, her friend came to me and said, "You'll see what happens."
We need to meet your husband's first girlfriend.
This is Ira, and Nadia, along with the psychics, is heading to her place. They leave Vova with his father, Mikola. Shortly after, they arrive at Ira's.
Ira, please come out for a moment.
Hello?
Vasa was my first husband.
And what do you want from me?
The woman who did everything to destroy is connected to Vasya. A knife in your back.
No, I wouldn't wish any harm. I have children myself.
Try to recall. Did you wish Nadia ill or curse her so her child would suffer like yours would without a father? This is very important. A child's life is at stake.
No, I didn't curse her, but I did feel upset.
Ira lied. I could feel that she sent curses towards Vasya and Nadia.
Eventually, Ira did confess.
I found out he had someone else when I was 4 months pregnant. I cursed him and envied Nadia that he married her. But now, I'm sorry for what happened to her.
Ira wished for harm, but not to the child. She just wanted Nadia and Vasya to break up, and her wish came true because the family fell apart so quickly. I hope you'll reconcile, and your children will communicate.
And the brothers met the very next day.
I'm so happy to have another brother. We'll keep in touch.
Joy. I'm crying with joy.
Ira wasn't responsible for what was happening to Nadia's son, but my guide still insisted we needed to find a woman.
The woman standing behind you, she shares the cross of your sick child. The person who stabbed you in the back is connected to Vasya, your husband. Who is she?
My sister.
Okay, and what's her connection to Vasya?
They had an affair.
A shocking revelation. It turns out Nadia's younger sister was her husband's mistress, and it was because of her that the couple divorced.
What kind of person do you have to be to steal a man from her own sister?
It caused me so much pain.
We need to see your sister.
Oksana, Nadia's 28-year-old sister, still lives under the same roof as her sister, mother, and grandmother. This is also where Nadia's current husband and their children reside.
Oksana, come here.
Hello?
How could you do this to your sister? You're the boy's godmother. I see that, and you swore before God to take care of him. But instead, you deprived him of his father.
After Nadia got married, her husband started coming on to me. I told Mom, but she didn't believe me.
And what was next?
Oksana confessed off camera that she lost her virginity to her sister's husband, Vasya. Yet, she continued to see him until Nadia eventually found it out.
I knew something was up, but Mom told me I was imagining things.
Finally, Vasya took Oksana with him to work in the Czech Republic, away from his wife and young son, and they started living together.
She came back from the Czech Republic and said, "You know, I'm pregnant by him."
The news of her sister's pregnancy by her husband devastated Nadia. She didn't want to live.
Are you trying to say you wanted to end your life?
Yes. Because of this life.
This is horrifying. The sisters couldn't share a man, and both tried to take their own lives. Meanwhile, Vasya went back to the Czech Republic to escape the drama.
Do you understand that this could have affected your nephew? In every way.
I didn't know it could be like this.
This is just incomprehensible.
I didn't touch him. He came to me.
Couldn't you just say no?
Where are you going? Stay here. I understand that you're in pain.
Why are the cameras here?
I want to help my child walk again.
I want it too.
Repent, and half of this child's trouble will be gone. Do you understand?
Vova is like my own son since I raised him from a young age.
Something else didn't add up. Oksana destroyed her family when Vova was 2 years old, and his bone problems started a couple of years later. It seems there's another reason for this. This whole situation, this history, is preventing you from having your own family. Do you understand this?
She's just at a dead end.
After the story with her sister's husband, Oksana became withdrawn. She didn't create her own family and doesn't work anywhere.
Oksana has paid for her sin with loneliness. She has no husband and no children. Of course, she's doing the right thing by taking care of her nephew. But that's not enough. She needs to repent for her sins and make peace with her sister.
Despite all the suffering she's caused, Oksana has a good heart.
She's like a second mother to Vova. She's dedicated her life to him.
It was a mistake, and if you ask for forgiveness, you will be forgiven.
The woman with the key is calling me. I don't understand what she wants. It's as if we've missed something crucial.
Your child is paying for a child whose life has been turned upside down.
I don't understand. Which child?
And what does the woman with the key have to do with this?
Come here, quick.
Oh my dear God.
Look, keys.
We started talking about the mysterious woman, and suddenly the keys fell from nowhere.
There's a spirit of a little boy of about 5. He threw the keys. Have you buried a child?
What's wrong with his face?
It's horrible. The boy's face is terribly disfigured.
Anna, what is it? What's happening?
The medium is behaving strangely, not responding to questions. She goes out of the house.
She looked like a spirit possessed her.
Anna.
I must kill him.
This is terrifying. The clairvoyant is finally intercepted and forcibly taken back inside.
I didn't understand what was happening to me. My body was taken over by the woman with the key. For some reason, she wanted to kill Vova.
Quiet. Hurry, pour it out at the threshold. Why does that woman with the key want Vova? Who is she, after all? And who is the child who threw the house keys on the floor?
Finally, Anna regains consciousness.
Did you see that woman with the keys too? She said she hated you all. She was the first owner of this house.
My grandmother inherited the house. Later, she bequeathed it to my mother.
No, that woman built this house.
She wasn't related to us.
It turned out that Nadia's great-grandmother passed away young. Her great-grandfather became a widower with 3 children, and then he remarried a woman with an unusual name, Teodolfia. She built this house, and it has been passed down from generation to generation.
That woman seeks revenge. She says you are murderers. The life of a child is on your conscience.
I feel a chill down my spine.
I feel the heat.
I'm feeling hot, but at the same time cold.
This is shocking. Are these people murderers? But who did they kill, and why? Could this be the reason for little Vova's suffering?
You killed her son. The son of the woman with the keys who built this house.
What about the boy with the burned face?
My great-grandmother said her son got burned and died.
It turned out that Teodolfia had a son. One day, she went to her neighbor's house, leaving the boy with her 12-year-old stepdaughter, Nadia's great-grandmother. When she returned home, she found her little boy dead in a pot of boiling lard. How he got there remains a mystery to this day.
Without photos of those people, I can't say what really happened. Whether the boy fell into the pot himself or was pushed by his stepsister. Either way, his mother accused the girl, Nadia's great-grandmother, of murder.
The spirit of the woman has been seeking revenge for her son all this time. She specifically wants to kill a boy. And Vova is the first boy born after that tragedy in this family. We must leave this place. Your son started getting sick at the same age that the owner of the house's son died. Around 5 years old.
Yes.
But why does Vova have problems with his legs?
Because she screamed, "May none of you be able to walk on the ground with your legs."
So it was a curse?
Yes. We need to lift the ancestral curse from you. And then we'll try to do something about the house.
But you should continue his treatment. We can't restore the boy's health, but after the ritual, the treatment should improve your son's condition.
I would be so grateful.
The magical ritual lasted for about an hour. The clairvoyants banished the evil spirit of the former owner of the house, lifted the curse, and placed a protective spell on the boy.
Anna and I put protection on all the boys in Nadia's family. And we tried to stop Vova's illness. However, we couldn't heal him completely, unfortunately.
Dear clairvoyants, we are genuinely grateful. We bow to you.
Thank you.
You are a very good boy. We wish you good health.
Thank you.
The psychics did everything they could to stop the curse. After the next examination, the doctors gave the boy hope of walking. If you were moved by this story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more astonishing investigations are coming up. Why is a mystical force choking a girl at night? Don't miss out. The clairvoyants will uncover a shocking family secret concerning a double murder. This young woman from Zakarpattia is desperate. She believes her younger sister is in mortal danger.
I really want to ask the psychics to come and help us so she's fine and unharmed.
Alisa Bodnia is a 6th grader and has a good family of a mother and father and an elder sister and brother. Until recently, she was a happy and cheerful child. But everything changed about a year ago. At night,
She got up, and her pillow was all bloodied.
My nose began to bleed without stopping. I got so scared.
What I saw, it shocked me completely.
She lost a lot of blood.
blood was gushing. The mother called an ambulance and the doctors barely stopped the bleeding. It turned out that the blood vessels in the girl's nose had burst.
It could be a viral infection or an injury. There are diseases like hemophilia that cause bleeding, or even cancer.
However, none of these diseases were found in Alisa.
I've never seen someone bleeding without a reason. There's got to be something.
The following night, the bleeding started again, and each time it begins, the girl loses a lot of blood.
I was afraid I might bleed to death.
The doctors are also scared because they can't help the girl.
Sometimes such blood loss can end fatally. She can suffocate from the blood loss.
The family is afraid they might lose Alisa. They believe that some otherworldly force is pulling the little girl to the other side, as before each bleeding episode, someone invisible chokes the girl.
When I sleep, someone chokes me. I am scared.
Someone walks near her. She sees someone.
I'm afraid for my life.
I'm afraid I might lose her.
I really want the psychics to help me.
Clairvoyants Jana Shulakova and Olena Kurilova, who was already in Zakarpattia for another investigation, took on the task to help the girl.
I had a terrifying vision. This girl was lying on a couch. The couch was brown, and above her was a man. I saw a scene where Alisa was being abused. I asked the cards if this was the girl's future, and the cards answered, no, this has already happened.
Meanwhile, our crew heads to Western Ukraine. On the way there, Jana Shulakova works with the girl's photo.
A strange picture. A young woman of about 20, all wet and blooded. And she said a very strange phrase, Alisa is not who she seems, but a favor for a favor. What did she mean?
Olena Kurilova is the first to reach the village where the girl lives.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I embrace you?
This is Alisa.
The relatives and neighbors gathered in front of the house. Everyone is concerned about the girl's fate. Meanwhile, Jana Shulakova is approaching the village.
The cards are showing me a dead boy next to this girl. Something chokes the girl at night. And the boy was strangled. Oh, Lord!
You're bleeding.
Give me a tissue. I felt the same thing that Alisa feels at night. The same thing the boy felt before he died. But who is this boy, and how is he connected to the girl? Can you pull over, please? I need out. Let's walk to the river. I need to wash off the blood.
The crew stopped about a kilometer away from Alisa's house. Suddenly, an otherworldly force attacks Jana Shulakova.
What happened?
I almost got killed.
Get out of the water, quick, it's freezing cold.
Something invisible threw the clairvoyant and our administrator into the river and damaged the audio equipment.
A dead man from the river pushed me. He's pale. He's all white and wearing wet clothes. I need to change. I'm all wet. I was sure that the pale dead man was trying to prevent me from seeing Alisa. He could very well be the spirit that choked the girl. But who is he? And how is he connected to Alisa? I'm set.
Can we go now?
Wait.
The clairvoyant goes to the river, again. But why?
The spirit of a young woman called me. She was all wet and bloodied, and I'd already seen her in a vision. She said a very strange phrase. Alisa is not who she seems, but a favor for a favor. It seems she has some information about Alisa. And then I was stunned. The same man who pushed us into the water approached the dead woman. The spirits know each other. It's her husband.
Who are these spirits, and what is their relation to Alisa? Are they the ones who choke her at night?
And again, I had that vision about Alisa and the man abusing her. Only this time, I saw something else. A little boy was watching. Was there any violence against Alisa? Did she complain about anything?
No.
But I was sure that there had been violence. Perhaps the girl was too shy to tell anyone about it.
Those two spirits have crucial information about our case. I need to call Alina.
Hello?
I got a little delayed on my way to you. A spirit pushed me into the river.
Mother of God.
The spirit that pushed me and his wife have information about our Alisa. You need to come to help me. Meet me at the entrance to the village next to the bridge.
Let's go.
A few minutes later, there's a crowd near the bridge. No one approaches the clairvoyants, but everyone is talking in whispers. Later, we will see why these people are here.
Hello. Those spirits are here. Do you see them?
A woman and a man?
Yes, they both drowned. And I saw this woman in the morning.
She's crying and pointing at her belly.
Was she pregnant?
Did anything like that happen here long ago?
Yes, it did. Anna and Ivan. They celebrated the New Year at his grandmother's. And then they were walking on the bridge and are said to have drowned.
It's horrifying. So it turns out that a young couple who lived in the village really drowned here, and the woman was pregnant. The tragedy happened more than 20 years ago.
And she, Anna, says, "Tell everyone the truth. Help us." They are asking for help because they are considered suicides, but it's not the case. She says, "We were killed and thrown into the water."
A shocking revelation. The pregnant woman and her husband were killed and thrown into the river. But who committed this terrible crime?
And no one was imprisoned? No one was punished?
The criminal case was closed. No one went to jail.
The clairvoyant sensed that the man was thrown off the bridge and died from hitting the rocks, while his wife knocked on the doors of the villagers hoping for rescue.
She says, "I ran, shouting, 'People, somebody help!' But no one opened the door for her."
They did knock asking for help. Yes, it's true, it's true.
It's something unimaginable. No one opened the door to save the pregnant woman's life.
The man was doomed. There were several attackers. But the woman could have survived if not for the indifference of the people.
The spirit of the murdered man hates everyone in this village. He blames them for the deaths of his wife and child.
Are there many accidents, deaths, and drownings in this village? Here come 3 drowned people.
That's my relative. My son-in-law. He fell from that bridge.
It was Ivan who took him.
It turned out that after the deaths of the couple, local young men started dying under mysterious circumstances. Locals fear to cross the river. Everyone is sure that some mystical force is throwing people off the bridge.
To tell the truth, people were afraid to come back home from work at night.
And for body kids to approach this place.
The spirit of the murdered man is taking his revenge. In his understanding, not only the murderers are to blame for his family's death, everyone who didn't open the door and didn't help is also guilty. The whole village will suffer. Not only will they drown, they will hang themselves and crash in cars.
Her children hang themselves. 3 young people died.
Young men crash on motorcycles. And there are many accidents in the village.
The spirit is taking them because he and his wife are unavenged.
We thought that Alisa was being choked by these 2 spirits, but it turned out that the couple was killed more than 20 years ago. Alisa wasn't even born then, and the spirits can't blame her for their death.
There were 4 attackers, men of about 30. They were drunk. 2 are dead by now. Here it is, God's punishment, and 2 are still alive. But nothing good will happen to them.
But if we pray to God, can we repent this?
Invite a priest to hold a service for the couple. The spirit of the murdered woman was grateful. She said, "You helped me, and now I will help you." And she repeated the phrase again. Alisa is not who she seems. But this time she added, "Go to the house where she lives. You will find a boy there who saw everything and knows everything." The cards showed me the spirit of a boy next to the girl in the morning.
The boy of about 5 or 6, right?
Yes. Something was choking the girl at night. And the boy was strangled.
The psychics are heading to Alisa's house to find out what is choking her at night.
Oh, God.
There is a little boy of about 6. His neck is all blue. He was strangled. This house was his home. He lived here and was killed here.
Jana, I saw him in my vision.
Ivan.
Whose toys are these?
His favorite.
He was murdered.
Here. The brown couch. Remember, I told you I saw abuse. This girl, you...
No.
We had a brother and a sister. They were murdered. The sister's name was Alina. She was raped and killed.
This is horrendous. The girl's sister and brother were raped and killed in this room, right on this couch.
It turned out that Alisa looks exactly like her murdered sister.
Did it happen here?
Was it here?
Yes. They were found dead on these couches.
I found them.
The children were murdered 14 years ago, and Olha still hasn't forgiven herself for leaving them alone that fateful night.
I'm guilty because I could have not left them at home.
The woman and her husband worked in the forestry, far in the mountains. You can't casually walk such distances.
It's more than 15 kilometers. It's really far away.
So, the parents occasionally stayed overnight at the forester's cabin and left Alina in charge at home.
I left them at around 6 in the evening.
He knocks on the door. He's drunk. He reeks of alcohol. He yells, "Give me money."
The children didn't have any money. Of course, he went berserk.
It was a man who lived nearby. He was looking for money to buy a bottle.
But how can a child handle a grown man? He strangled the girl, and the boy hid. He survived.
Alisa is not scared by the clairvoyant's words. The tragedy happened before she was born, but she knows about the horrific murder of her brother and sister.
Wait. This murderer, the rapist, came back in the morning and finished him off. He strangled him and threw him here too.
What a nightmare. It's impossible to describe in words what the parents saw when they returned home in the morning.
I entered the house and saw a foot sticking out from under the blanket. Alina's foot. It was awful.
Alina was 12, while Ivan was 6. It's hard to even imagine how the family survived such grief.
The world was weird. Everything was weird.
He's in jail.
Volodymyr.
He confessed.
Yes.
I would kill him with my own hands. I can't get over it. Let everyone hear. May him rot in jail. May him die there. But how does this relate to Alisa? Why is she in danger?
And why do we only see the boy's spirit, but we don't see the girl?
What if it's her who's choking you? Maybe she wants to come back?
If a spirit needs a body, it has to expel one soul and take over that body. It can choke and kill to achieve it.
Let's try to summon her.
We need Alisa. Please leave us alone with the girl.
Don't be afraid. I'll recite a prayer and I will try to talk to Alina. Servant of God, Alina. Servant of God, Alina.
Alina's soul is in Alisa's body. Alina and Alisa are the same person.
We summoned the soul of the murdered Alina, and she appeared as soon as the living Alisa lost consciousness.
But how is this possible?
I don't know how to tell you this. Alina is your Alisa. They ended up sharing the same soul. Alisa was born a year after Alina's death.
I can't comprehend it.
You were crying at the cemetery, asking, did you go to the cemetery pregnant?
I just said, God, I want her to live.
You asked for your daughter to return.
I said, thank you. I will soon have a daughter.
You knew it would be a girl. And you knew she would be Alisa. But you still understood that she would be Alina. You brought her back. You gave birth to her again.
God gave me a daughter who's an almost identical copy of her.
Alisa is very much like Alina. The same face, the same smile. I always see my sister Alina in her.
They rarely call me Alisa. Everyone says Alina.
That's why the pregnant woman's spirit from the river told me that Alisa is not who she seems.
Incredible! No one expected such a twist.
It turns out that Alina was 12 when she was murdered. You are also 12. No one is actually choking Alisa. It is her soul at the age when she was murdered, reliving everything she felt at the moment of death. Alina was strangled.
When was Alina murdered, raped, and strangled?
September 27th.
In 10 days.
A soul experiences the greatest shock on the days of birth and death. As the date of her death approaches, Alina's soul is experiencing increasing stress. The peak will come on September 27th.
Then how do we protect Alisa from danger?
Look. First of all, we know the dates we need to be wary of. And on these dates, please visit 3 churches, light candles for health, and read prayers. and I want to make a talisman for you.
Give me a broad sheet of paper.
When children's hands and feet are outlined, this comes from an ancient ritual of sealing the footprint on the ground, so that the soul wouldn't leave you.
This is what we are doing to help Elisa stay here.
Your footprint will always be with your family. This will be your talisman.
Thank you!
You're going to live your life just as you dream it.
We are so grateful.
We contacted Elisa via Skype as soon as the dangerous date for the girl had passed.
I was terrified of the 27th. On September 27th, I didn't feel very well. I went to the monastery, lit a candle, and prayed. And I felt better.
Nothing's choking her anymore. The psychics helped us a lot. We are infinitely grateful.
If this story impressed you, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more amazing stories are coming up.